Hi digital scrapper friends, welcome back. And if you're new here, hi there, welcome. I'm Lydia from Lydia Scrapbooks and I'm super happy you stopped by today. Get ready for some fun because I'm about to show you how to create flowers and vines that weave around your focal point, adding flow and interest and making your layout come alive and look absolutely stunning. I created this in Photoshop, but if you are using Photoshop elements, don't worry, you can definitely follow along too. I will let you know anytime something works differently in Elements. Let's get started. First, create a new 12 by 12 inch document at 300 pixels per inch with a white background. I've already got mine set up here. Next, grab the Move tool. Open the background paper you want to use. And here I'm using one from Mystery Scraps Hidden Secret Bundle Kit. I picked this one because it goes perfectly with the photo I'll be adding later. So click and drag the paper onto your new document and hold down the Shift key while dragging to center it automatically when you let go. Next, I'm going to click and drag this steering wheel onto our new document. And then press Ctrl T, Mac Command T to get the transform options and resize it as needed. And then click the check mark at the top to commit the changes. Now I'm going to add this beautiful leaf to the layout. I will place it right above the steering wheel layer. And you know what? I think I will flip the leaf to make the composition a little more interesting. To do that, I will go up to the menu bar and choose Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. And then I will press Ctrl T, Mac Command T to bring out the transform options. And from here, I will adjust the size and rotate it slightly until it feels just right in the layout. And make sure that you press the Shift key while resizing to maintain proportion. Once you are happy with the size and rotation, just click the check mark in the top to apply the transformation. Next, grab the brush tool or just press letter B on your keyboard. In the tool options, click on the brush preset picker menu and choose hard round brush. Right here, I'm going to set the size to 250 pixels and hardness to 100%. Click anywhere outside the menu to close it. In the tool options, make sure the mode is set to normal. And both the opacity and flow are set to 100%. And then press the letter D to reset your foreground, background colors to black and white. Now here in a layer panel, I'm going to rename all these layers right here. Start from the background paper. So here I'm just going to double click on layer 1 and I will rename it to solid paper. I also like to add the name of the kit and the designer I'm using in a layer name, just in case I decide to upload the layout to an online gallery or Instagram, so I can easily give proper credit to the designer. So over here, solid paper, and the name of the kit is Hidden Secret, and the designer is Mystery Scraps. Press Enter, Mac Return key to commit the changes. Do the same for the other layers. Renaming your layers helps keeps things organized, especially as your layout gets more detailed. It saves time later and makes editing a lot easier. Next, let's add a drop shadow to the blue seaweed before we do anything else. I will click on the FX icon at the bottom of the Layers panel and choose Drop Shadow. In the dialog box, set the following. Blend mode to multiply. I will set the opacity to 36%. Set the angle to 90 degrees. Distance to 7 pixel. And the spread to 4%. And the size to 13 pixels. And then just click OK. If you are using Photoshop Elements, click the Styles icon and choose Drop Shadows from the drop-down menu. And then click on Low. And then click on this gear icon to open the Style settings. Here I will put lighting angle to 90 degrees. And then I will set the size to 13 pixels, and I'll set the distance to 7 pixels and the opacity to 36%. Don't worry about the spread setting. It's not available in Elements, and that's totally fine. And then just click OK. Still, in the Layers panel, click on the Layer Mask icon, and you will see a new mask, a thumbnail appear next to the blue seaweed layer. Now, hold down Ctrl, Mac, Command key, and click on the thumbnail of the steering wheel layer to load its selection. I'm going to zoom in now, so I will press Ctrl plus, Mac, Command plus to zoom in. You can also zoom manually by going to the bottom corner of the window and entering a specific percentage. I will enter mine to 70% and then press Enter, Mac, Return key to apply it. All right, I'm going to press on a space bar over here to move slightly. In the Layers panel, click on the Layer Mask's thumbnail to activate it. To toggle between black and white, press letter X. Here to hide part of the seaweed, I use black, and to reveal part of the seaweed back, I use white. To change the brush size quickly, press the left bracket key to make it smaller or the right bracket key to make it larger. Back on the document, start painting with black on the layer mask. This will make it look like parts of the seaweed are tucked behind the steering wheel. And here, I want to keep some parts of the seaweed showing on top of the wheel to create that intertwined look. So I will leave this area right here untouched, and this one too, and also this one. Press Ctrl D, Mac Command D to get rid of the selection outline. Now let's add another piece of seaweed to intertwine with the steering wheel. I'm going to use just part of this plant. So in the toolbar, grab the lasso tool. In the tool options, click on the new selection icon and set the feather to 0 pixel. Back on the document, pick any part of the plant you'd like to use, and I'm going to go with this area right here. So click and drag your mouse to loosely circle that selection. Circle back. All right. So once it's selected, press Ctrl C, Mac Command C to copy it. Now go back to your main layout document. Using the lasso tool again, draw a rough area where you want the cutout piece to be placed. I think I will put mine right here, and then press Ctrl V, Mac Command V to paste it in. Get the Move tool or press letter V to get the Move tool. Click and drag the piece into position. So I'll just put it right here, and then resize it if needed to make it fit just right. All right, I'll just put it like that. Just like before, grab the brush tool or press letter B to get the brush tool. In the Layers panel, double click on the new layer and rename it Brown Seaweed 1. And then click on the layer masks icon. You will see a new mask thumbnail appear next to the layer. Okay, now we've got a layer mask on Brown Seaweed 1. This is where we'll do the hiding. All right, hold down Control Mac Command key and click on the thumbnail of the steering wheel layer to load it as a selection. Again, we're using the shape of the steering wheel to help guide what gets hidden. And make sure the Brown Seaweed 1 mask is selected. Then start painting with black on the document to hide parts of that seaweed. Remember, painting with black on the mask hides parts of the layer. So I will just brush over the spots I want tucked behind the wheel. Press Ctrl D, Mac Command D to deselect the current selection. Now I also want to hide a part of the brown seaweed, so it will look like the brown seaweed is tucked behind the blue seaweed. Alright, so to do that, to load the selection of the blue seaweed, hold Ctrl, Mac Command key, and click directly on its thumbnail in the Layers panel. Now make sure the layer mask on the Brown Seaweed 1 layer is active. Then on the document, paint it with black to hide parts of the brown seaweed. This will make it look like it is tucked behind the blue seaweed. But I will this one out right here. Alright, when you're done, just press Ctrl D, Mac Command D to get rid of the selection outline. Next, copy the drop shadow from the blue seaweed to the Brown Seaweed 1 layer by holding Alt, Mac Option key and clicking and dragging the drop shadow effect onto the Brown Seaweed 1 layer. And I think I'm going to do the same. Apply the drop shadow to the steering wheel. Finally, press Ctrl 0, Mac Command 0 to reset your view and see the entire layout on the screen. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't saved your project yet, now is a great time to do it. Now I will add a couple more brown seaweed elements to help fill in the space. So I'm going back to the original element document and copying the same area I used earlier. And then I'll paste it back into the layout just like before, but this time I'm flipping it to add some variety and make the arrangement feel more natural. Here in the menu bar, go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Resize it as needed. Again, depending on your version of Photoshop or Photoshop Elements, you might need to hold down Shift key to keep the proportions. Then I will just rotate it this way, like that, and I'll put it right here. And then I will just click the check mark to commit the changes. Back in the Layers panel, double click on this new layer and rename it Brown Seaweed 2. And then click the layer mask icon to add a mask. Click on the steering wheel thumbnail to load its selection outline. Again, we are going to hide just a little of the seaweed where it overlaps on the wheel. All right, let me get the brush tool now too. Press Ctrl D, Mac Command D to deselect. Now I want to reveal more of the blue seaweed, so click on its thumbnail to load the selection again. And here I will paint with black where you want the blue seaweed to appear in front. So, like over here and right there. Press Ctrl D, Mac Command D to deselect. Of course, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to go back to the element document and pick a different part of the plant this time. Let me get the lasso tool first. Feel free to choose a different part of the plant or even a completely different element. Just have fun with it and make it your own. All right, I will select this area right here. So I will just circle it loosely. And then I will copy and paste it into the layout document. I will put it right here. Press Ctrl T, Mac Command T to get the transform options. And I will just resize it a bit. I will put it right here. Okay. And now, since I don't think I need to add a layer mask on this one, so what I'm going to do is I will just put this layer behind the steering wheel layer, just like that. And that's how I start building the layered intertwined look, just using masks, selections, and a little bit of painting. From here, I'm just going to decorate the page with a few more embellishments. Nothing too fancy, so I will speed things up and let the music play while you watch the rest come together. And that's it for today, my friend. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people who might find it helpful. If you have any questions or if you just want to say hi, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to leave me a comment anytime. And don't forget to check the description box for all the credits and materials I used to create this layout. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, keep on scrapping.